can hear us talking, but I can't hear you talking.
I bet you can hear me now. Son of a bitch. Thanks, chat. If it wasn't for you, then I'd be sitting here talking for like the next 27 minutes and nobody would hear anything that I'm saying. So, STFU for life right there with JJ and Too Tall. Thanks for coming back. So, what I've been saying the whole time is I have Arlo and Stormy and Z in here with me. They're going to be hanging out. We've been hanging out for the last few hours and we figured we'd just go ahead and go live and show you some of the things that are happening here. It'd probably be easier for you guys in Discord if I just put myself muted in Discord, right? Now Carly's also in Discord as well, and Deviant as well. It's a party here, guys. Is it bugging you hearing me twice, or is it delayed?
It's delayed, but I got.
I just turned it down in Discord, so.
Okay, well, I just muted my microphone in Discord. So
either way, it works.
Guys should hear me a little delayed and be like, "What's he talking about?" So, actually, it would probably makes more sense if you guys mute it in the chat itself. That way, I say something, and if you guys respond to it, it's not like 30 seconds later, and it's like, what? So,
yeah.
Right. So what we're doing today is this is the video on the screen right now that I just got done rendering out. I feel like I've already said this, but most of you didn't hear it because what happens is the microphone's muted there. So I've just rendered this one out, and I'm going to make a screenshot for it, a thumbnail for YouTube, and then I'll go ahead and do another video after this. This one is from 25th of March. So I got some catching up to do. Every night I have to go through and have to re-render out, a 3 or 4 hour session. Otherwise, when I put it here in Premiere Pro, the audio and the video get out of sync with each other because the GeForce Experience records it as a variable frame rate. So I might be talking algebra to some of you people. We were talking about this earlier. I hate algebra. So I'll just put it simply in terms that if you're streaming, it goes in a variable frame rate. That way it can drop frames in the video without affecting anything. Premiere Pro is kind of a pain in the ass where it like goes, no, I only want constant frame rate. So when you feed it variable frame rate, it goes, okay, so your frames are, 17 frames here, 18 frames, 32, it kind of goes up and down. And then it goes, I don't know what to do with the audio, so I'll just put it here, like however it came through. So it's really a work of art, essentially, when you're trying to figure out how to make something into video that can go on YouTube and you see lips moving, but there's no sound yet. So those are going. So I'm going to try to keep up with the chat as well. And of course, everybody here, they're going to be able to get in there and drop a bomb on you, whatever they want to say as well, because this is for them as well. Because we've been hanging out all day. Figured bring everybody else into the mix that wants to hang out with us while we're doing some work here. So let's see. I'm going to start here. I'm going to go to the thumbnail. This is the last thumbnail, number 26. We just completed number 27. I'm going to make a new layer. This is really, I've already done all this work. So it's really not that big of a deal now. This is the easiest thing, actually making a thumbnail. OCRP, these are all my folders that I'm playing with here. And I took all these screenshots from this video, and now I got to figure out which one I actually want to make the thumbnail. And I like it with police lights because it's weird if you can imagine if like we got pulled over and got like interviewed by the police as a STFU. Just it'd be weird. I don't know if you guys would be ready to handle that. So I like this one here because it has the RV in the background. I take these screenshots. The video is actually at 4K as I render it, and then I minimize it down to 1080p so I can put it on YouTube, and it's not like 300,000 trillion mega gig bytes. Let's see. So my screenshots are actually in 3840 by 2160. They're humongous. There's one me behind the trailer. like when somebody was shooting at us. So what do you guys think? Tell me which screenshot. If you see one you like, go ahead and let me know. Let's figure it out together. And then whoever's the creative content maker here will override any decisions they don't like. Kind of weird that way. And everybody in chat, you guys can just say, oh, that one. And I'll be like, what one? This one? That one? This one? This one? That one? So here's my choices. I got this one. I got the trailer one in the back there with the howls. He's got his arms crossed, Barry's in handcuffs. You can't really see it there. There's the shooting one. You say that one, but it might be a little delayed. So there's titles at the top. It's like -1, OCRP 27, OCRP -3, OCRP 27-6. The shooting one. So you like this one here, where the cop is holding that. And so one of the things that I do in selecting the screenshot, by the way, is the context of the video, which you guys haven't seen. So I'm kind of throwing you out to the bus there. The Griswold's trailer in the back is the one you like, which was the one I was thinking about first, because that is the context of the video. Let's go back to the video itself. So the beginning of the video starts like right here, where we're driving down the road, and actually it starts right here where we go past BCSO, and there's that right here is the that four-wheel drive guy that we went past. It's actually 722 Steven. He's as a civilian though, so we passed him, and then at some point he tries to run over Barry or whatever, or he gets scared. So then I turn around and he turns around, and we end up, Barry shoots his tires out. So that's the context of the video, and then what happens from that point. So there's all these considerations that go into just putting up a stupid little YouTube video. So the stuff gets knocked over. He's right here to my right, as you can see in the video right here. There's cops are responding already because he did his shots fired and blew out his tire. And then, like, I could take another screenshot if I wanted to. I could take this one, for example. Did you guys have something, or was that coming through in the, I think that came through in Premiere Pro. I heard some voices.
Just a bunch of loud noises.
Yeah. So if I turn off, if I click this, I don't see the Orange County logo up here anymore, because, you know, I wouldn't want that in the thumbnail, because I could put my own in there wherever I want it. So if I like that one, it doesn't really tell you much about the video is going to be. It's just like, oh, there's a howl on a bike and a truck. I mean, you can obviously guess what's going to happen. But here I am, folded arms. I'm running up to talk to him. There's that one. I could take a screenshot of it if I wanted to. Like there, right? But it's not showing anything of me. You see the Barry in the background taking off. And like, what are we going to do here? Let's see. So I can go forward a little bit more. He's walking up to talk to the cop. Try to get the cops the lights on so you know you're being pulled over. And then, oh, now I'm in handcuffs, right? So, okay, so that could be a potential screenshot. But there's more to the story than just the very beginning. So as we get deeper in here, you know, I'm still talking to the cops. And then I tried to get where that trailer was here. Got a good one. Let's see. This is where Barry pulls up. When I was talking to them earlier, I got something like this, where Barry's pulling up in the RV, and, you know, you could see, yeah, the standard one showing Barry in every single screenshot in handcuffs. I mean, it'd be like me folding my arms every 5 seconds. So, you know, you have the flashing of blue lights here as Barry's pulling up. And then, so that doesn't have enough context to that one. So you got to be, so this is all from the video. So you see I have stuff here which I can just use a portion of this. And then you get that, like, as there's movement, sometimes it's blurry, so it's kind of hard to get these screenshots like that. You see how it's kind of blurry. So then as we get one that I like, we got to where we want the one in the back. See, now I use the arrow keys. You can hear people talking kind of weird stuff. It's fun. Hear that So, you know, this is all live stuff, so I really can't manipulate it any. I got what I got. So as we kind of pan around, I think I panned at some point. And this is one thing of, so when you're doing like video capture, you gotta, you know, you're in the moment and you're doing your acting, if you will. At the same time, you got to try to think about, you know, later, how am I going to present this? So it's, when you're doing the acting and the camera work at the same time, it gets tough. And that's what I mentioned before, like where I was making the, you know, moving the camera around so much. And I was like, oh, I'm sure somebody's going to say something, which you guys did. Thank you very much. You see how it's kind of blurry? So that's not, I'm completely, because the camera's focused on me, not blurry, but you see the other subjects here is kind of blurry, so I wouldn't want to use those. So, and then people will talk and things like that. So this is the, all these little details are coming to effect when I'm trying to figure out the presentation of a 30-some minute video, 34, 25. So it's overall, it's like 34 minutes. That's a good one, but it's, I want Barry in it because, I mean, Barry's the one who actually got arrested in this, not me. So if that's the one we want, right? That's the one we said we would take, something like that. I've got red and blue kind of lights here, so we know the cop's here. So I'm going to take a screenshot. I'm going to say, what do I want it? OCRP. And I'll just say, that says this shit. That's the name of my screenshot. So I've just captured that. And now I'm going to go to Photoshop. And then I have my blank layer there, file open. Then going to see, what do I call it? OCRP, chat said this shit, right? Chat said this shit. So here's the screenshot that I've captured for you. Do a, select all it. And then you can do copy. And we'll go back into the actual you know, the Photoshop file that we're using. And I paste it in. Now, YouTube will only accept a screenshot that's 720 wide by whatever it is. Oh no, 720 tall and then whatever it is wide. I don't know. I've had to look up the dimensions so many times. So my template here is based on the YouTube standard. However, I've got a 4K image. So I can simply do it like that, you know, use whatever is there already. And then I'm going to zoom out a little bit. And then I can, you know, I can manipulate the photo itself however I want. Weird thing about Photoshop. So if I want kind of fill the screen a little bit, then I'll go up here. If you see, this is the percentage that I've changed it by. So to keep everything in the right perspective, I'll just change the values so it's 50%. He's a little blurry there, but you know, it's going to be so small anyways. And it's going to be like that big on YouTube, so good where it's there. So I'm taking 4K and I'm shrinking down to 720. It's definitely going to be pretty sharp when it's smaller. And you're currently, well, you guys are viewing this whole stream at 720, but I'm viewing this all at 4K. So it's going to be a lot more precise what I'm looking at. Now, if this is what we want for the background, then we're going to go ahead. We got to title it. I wasn't even thinking about titling it because I hadn't got there yet. So if we know that Barry shoots out the tires in this pickup truck, and then the cops come and talk to us and they arrest him, and now the video ends where he gets taken away for questioning. So part 2 of that will be where he's actually questioned, but I wasn't there. I was above the area, and you can hear what he's saying, but we can actually see him. So we got to try to figure out if that's video we can use. I mean, the context is there, but it's kind of boring to watch. So do we use it, or do we figure out another interesting way later to use the audio and put it into something. Kind of like how we did with when we killed, when Barry killed Alexis, and I did that audio. I kind of made it sound like it got captured from the cell phone and the NSA captured it. So there's ways to do things that we don't have video for. As I was telling some of these guys in chat earlier, there was this situation where I was trying to manipulate the way my game captures the sound so that I can, minimize Discord when Barry, because I'm in Discord with him when we're live, and he's saying hi to you and thanks for the biddies and all that stuff. But it comes out in my audio card because it's coming in through Discord. So how do I do it where I can take out the audio of him talking to you guys? It's quite possible, and I've done it before so many times, but I forgot how I did that setting using, I use Banana in the past, but there was also a hum in the background I didn't like, so I stopped using it. But that way I can use my microphone. I could set it to one channel or a left of one channel, the Discord right to one channel, which I can change to stereo later. I'll show you how I do that. And then the game audio would be in stereo on its own separate channel. That way I have full control over every sound that passes through what I can control. So those are some things that I also take into consideration. It's just throwing a video up on YouTube, you can do it, but to try to put it up in a way that is more enjoyable, it really isn't enjoyable. It's not necessarily enjoyable to everybody to create the content so that you guys can watch a 30-minute video and go, oh, this is great. There's all this shit that goes into that creations. Yeah. So now we're still in the title. So we're like 30 minutes into a stream of how I create a simple video that's already been created, by the way, and we're still at the titling phase. So this stuff does take some time. If you guys have any comments on what we should title this here in Discord?
Pop goes the weasel.
So if I were to go pop goes, so what is the context of that, by the way?
I was just going off tire pop.
Okay. So pop goes the weasel is that's what it would look like right there. And then of course, this is going to be OCRP live number 27. So you see I have all these, like this template set up so I can do these things. And then of course I can move all this if I want to. I don't like putting things down here because this is where the little YouTube logo in the timestamp of how long the video is comes up. So I try not to utilize this area here because it covers up the title. So I like these 3 areas instead. So I can essentially put this up here if I wanted to. And then like the title, I can move down here as long as it's not covering too much of the content that's there. So if I were to do that, that doesn't look too bad. And it separates, it's where you're looking. And again, it's going to be that big. So if I do 27 there, so pop goes the weasel. Now, if you look at it from the title, which I don't even know I don't think I spelled weasel right. The Rockstar, this is the Rockstar font, kind of a similar font to it. So it looks kind of, does that weird stuff. Pop goes the weasel. Is that how you spell weasel? Or is it E-L?
No, it's spelled right.
I have it spelled right. It just looks weird, huh? Because of the font.
Yeah, it looks really weird.
Yep. Pop goes the whistle.
Wursel.
Yeah, the worsely. So, if that is the title of it, and I mean, I don't care. You guys are the ones who watch this stuff. I mean, I do too. I lay in bed and I watch them laugh my ass off sometimes because I remember it all going down and stuff. So I actually watch my own videos as well. Oh, I wish I had a gun there. That would be so cool. I could good. That could shrink it. Go here. Click that where I'm at 70 right now, which I've manipulated before. Let's go to 48. So then we can make it a little bit smaller. We can make it a little bit bigger. Make it so it fits right. That way it's not covering anything. Pop goes the Wurzel. That's the title you want to stick with, right, Arlo? Arlo's fault, guys.
Yep. Hashtag blame Arlo.
Yeah. Oh, yeah? You want to do that? Okay. The thumbnail, so it's going to be size that. There you go. Up there. And you know what? Since I made it smaller, let me go here to the stroke. Change that down to about 4. So weird around the edges. All right. Pop goes the weasel. Really want it there? Good. Change the layer like that so it doesn't look like weasel. Well, so then the L doesn't look right. What if we did this down these? Think about that. Up goes the weasel. Hashtag blame Arlo. Arlo gun.
Looks beautiful.
Like custom, right?
And it makes and it makes total sense.
And then we'll have to send people to this stream. I'll export this to YouTube, and it's like, if you want to know what that means, just go watch this. Because I mean, it's all about getting views. It's not about what you guys want. It's all about getting those damn views. Now we're gonna go. I'm gonna save this. First of all, I can save the whole. I like to save the entire thing, the Photoshop file, because it has all my screenshots in it, and if I like mess up and I want to go back and put one back in that for whatever reason, because I delete the recording, so you know, obviously I don't have 600 trillion gigs of storage space, so I delete them over time. And what's up there, Lemon? Going through some of our papers here, trying to figure out how to make videos of them. So right here we have save as. So I'll put it here in my YouTube thumbs file, and you have to make it a JPEG according to YouTube standard. You can see I have all of them here. I just recently did this, by the way, where I changed the, like, basically based on, I renamed all of them that were in there because they're starting to get crazy and hard to keep track of. Because I do, well, we'll see. I'll show you. You'll see exactly what I'm talking about here in a minute. So I'm going to say OCRP 27. Kazam, kaboom, kabam. Then we lower that. So this video is essentially, I have it rendered out, and which would be right here. So I run them like in VLC to make sure they look good and everything. You see anybody shoot guns?
Yep. Bloodbath.
Partner up there. I snitched him out. Oh, you're there now?
Yeah, dude.
So that's like the video there. So I have that ready to upload. And now I have the thumbnail for it right here as well. So I'll drag that and drop it up there. And I had already saved it, by the way. I saved what I created here as ready to go for the next one. So now I have my thumbnail. Basically, I can delete all these other ones. So they gone. And you see, I also have. So this is the file that I use right here. This is what I rendered out. 25 March, and some of it's down below in the timeline. So we're gonna do the rest of it, and I'll show you in a minute what I'm talking about. But then we have BH Adventures, so it's Barry and Hal, Adventures 6 and 7. So it's OCRP Live 27 is the one I just showed you. 28 will be the rest of whatever this day was. Unless it's too long, then I have to cut it up even more. And then basically it will be the OCRP Live 27, but it'll be Barry and Hal Adventures number, whatever the next number is. And I have to look at YouTube to see what that is. But then if we do like an STFU Adventures where there's more people involved, then we'll call that STFU Adventures 3, STFU Adventures 4. But I make sure that I started going back and renaming the live adventures so that you know where in context of the time frame that this is happening in. What would it cost for a kick-ass stream intro? I mean, like this? That's kick-ass. It's free. Streamlabs OBS. They have a bunch of ones that you can get for free. I don't. So I do use, obviously, my titles and stuff I made myself. I got things from the internet that allowed me to manipulate them however I wanted to. So I didn't create, the live intro highlights. I mean, I did that from scratch. That one's mine. That's all mine. You know, things like that. I do some of that stuff. However, if you want to get in this kind of video production, it's things that you just go on YouTube and learn. It's a pain in the ass. It literally takes days, if you don't know what you're doing, to figure some of this stuff out. And what's up, man? I don't necessarily know what I'm doing. I do a lot of YouTube videos on how to do things, and then I change it the way that I want it to be. So, if you use Slobs, and I think even OBS Studio, the video that you're taking is basically an MP4, and you're changing it over to a WebM extension. If you don't know what that means, it means a whole hell of a lot of work. So I don't charge. If you want me to make you an intro, I'll do one for you, but it'll cost you about $6 million because that's how much time it'll take me to do it. So if you have $6 million, you want to give it to me, then I'd be happy to try to do something. But it's going to take me a couple months to figure out what you want.
Do you take Monopoly money?
No. Nope. It has to be real. So VS.
So then you created.
Go ahead, please.
So then you created your whole YouTube intro yourself.
Yeah. Are you talking about that right there where it says KungfuBeer? I did my logo and everything. I mean, that's in After Effects. That's also in. I did the logo itself in AI, which is, what the hell is that called? Illustrator. Some of it's in Illustrator. Illustrator's a pain in the ass. So if we go here.
The logo. Sorry.
No,
the
please.
logo, just the intro and everything is really clean, when I started watching.
Uh-huh. Yeah, the Light Rays logo, this one right here. So this is After Effects. AEP is Adobe After Effects. So that's it's different than Premiere. And this isn't even everything. Oh, there it goes. It's still loading. It takes a while. It's got to load so much stuff. I mean, it's getting complex when you start getting these things. But again, there's YouTube videos. You can just, it probably took me 3 days to do this logo. Overall. Not 3 days straight, but I mean, a couple hours here, a couple hours there. So yeah, it took some time. But I like it. So, I mean, that's all I care about. It's a lot of people don't know what it is. It's a beer keg.
Oh,
So
well, I knew what it was.
yeah. Some people don't know what it
Yeah.
was, but yeah, it's a beer keg.
Which makes total sense. So it's perfect.
Well, I've always wanted a thing where it's like a karate guy doing a beer, like drinking a beer or kicking a beer. I don't know, but it seems a little weird. But I wanted to do an animated one. Like what I used to do, even as KungfuBeer before I did the beer keg, is I had that Reaper, the Grim Reaper, and I don't even know if I have any of the. On this computer, I probably don't. My other computer has a lot more of the creative. My older computer has a lot more of the creative stuff on it, where I did all the Photoshop stuff. But you know the the Grim Reaper guy, I had one where I was riding. You know the little kids, they drive those little 3-wheeled, not big wheels, but the other one. Can't think what it's called. The tricycle thing.
Oh, a trike. Yeah, I got you.
Yeah, I had one where I was actually rode in on it as the Grim Reaper with the big sword thing. Long time ago, but that's
Cypher.
yeah, that's where that came from. Because I was
That's
always
awesome. Man.
yeah, I always did the Grim Reaper a long time ago. So, there is that's the new one. COD. So these are COD screens I did the other day when we played COD. 13 for Zebra. I think I uploaded that already, so I can delete that one. And these like out logos and stuff. I mean, I've customized them, but I got that from the internet, and I just made them what I wanted to. Like from this YouTuber pack, I think it was free. But this is the OCRP one that I did. These are the temp ones. I don't even know if everything's in that template right now, or in the build. Yeah, this is the last one that I did. So in California, we have amber lights in the back of our light bars. So that's what that's supposed to symbolize. I threw this together probably in 3 hours, I guess. 3 hours worth of work right
I like
here.
that. I like that. That's awesome.
Yep. 5 seconds. 5 seconds. It took about 3.5 hours. And then the old one you guys already saw. OCRP. This is the old one. I lost the actual. So this is, well, that's where that Kung Fu Films came from. So that's the Reaper on the tricycle right there. But I had animated that a long time ago. I just didn't like the way it looked because the wheels were funky. But yeah, this I think this took a couple hours to do this, and I shared this with the people on OCRP, so they have just this without all the sounds and stuff in the background. And how I did this is kind of how I did that one when I remade it. But this is in 1080p. So I had an external hard drive, and I would bump it, or I'd unplug it, or it would just shut off. And when it would shut off, it would like not, you wouldn't be able to access the hard drive anymore because it was all fucked up. And I was like, what? So I lost a lot of work that I had done, and things like this. I still have the 1080p version, but I wanted to make it 4K because when I, so this is all 4K, right? If I throw something in here, like that, for example, that I just showed you, that is only 1080p. It looks like shit. I'll show you what it looks like. OCRP. This one. Oh. So that's, see how small it looks? Which isn't that big of a deal on a black background. But you can see right here, you've got the, how it's only 1080 in a 4K thing. So I haven't recreated that exactly because even though I like it, I don't have the file for it anymore to manipulate it. So I'd have to recreate it from scratch, and I just came up with the other one here.
Unit 1033, 1033 at Mission Admission in the 15, reference 1 at gunpoint. Interest on 1111.
And the way that works, it's all right here. Zooming in right now. So you have my little, it's mature, so don't ban me off YouTube. And then as the timeline scrolls, you have the 2 different sound files here.
On units 1033, repeating 1033, admission in the 15, reference 1 at gunpoint.
There's lots of sirens. And then you have the radio talking. That could make it longer. And then you have the music where it kicks in right here.
And somebody's in the menu, so. Oh, they're in a RAM.
I want to pick a different set of clothing there. Looks dumb. And then when you get here, you know, so this is where I like to cut it in. Of course, I can move. Then I have the OCRP fade in and stuff. So that's the magic behind the mirror right there. And so here we're at 50 minutes of how to make a 30-minute video. So you guys that said I should stream this, thank you.
I mean, it's amazing though, because I think it opens up how much work actually goes into making good content, you know, to watch. And
I mean, if you're here for good content, you're here for the wrong reasons. I mean, I don't make good content. I make shitty content that somebody gets a laugh out of every now and again. Usually me. My wife doesn't understand it. No, I'm just kidding. Like I said, I enjoy making it. So I thoroughly enjoy that you guys like watching it, because I mean, that's, if I was making it, nobody ever wanted to see it. What's the point of making it anymore? But yeah, it's quite a bit. So this is, did I save this one? Well, let's make the next one. Which I must have saved it though. So that means I'm going to have to edit out the next part of it. Oh. Alakaboom. Done. Okay. So here's basically what my template is. If I open just the OCRP template, it's for me in the long run. Yeah, it's good for archiving stuff for sure. So Veteran Chaos, you guys probably ends. I'm sorry, what's that?
When the world ends and they dig up your computer and they're gonna find all your content.
Yeah, when the electricity goes out, you have to sit here and hand crank it. You're like, yeah, I'm done with this one. Let's move on to the next one. So I've got this in the chat, by the way. That's going to be JJ from STFU. And then Veteran Chaos, that's Mohawk. That's his name currently anyways. Of course, everybody knows Lemon. Lemon and Orange are here. I didn't forget about you. Slow down. I didn't forget about you there, Crazy Eyes. So, where are we at? Yeah, you don't stutter when you type. Okay, so 25 March. I can either drag it from here, or I can just drag it from up here where I have everything else. The reason I'm sounding weird right now is because there should be 3 channels, but there's not. So if I saved it already, that is the 20. Save it? No. Oh, that's right. I rendered it out. I didn't do it. Okay, so here's the other half of the 25 March video. This is the one we just saw. RV and fucking Griswolds. So we'll take this, boom, slide this on over here. Now, so here I'm driving to BCSO, and where the way I've been doing it is like I like for me to somebody in the video to say something when it goes to the title right here. So I like to cut out to that right as somebody says something stupid. Usually me.
How could I have done it if the guns were still being fired when I was at your when I was in cuffs with you? So how can that be possible?
So I mean, why not? Ding ding. I always do that when I go in there. So that's where I said ding ding, right? Okay. So let's chop this right here. Kaboom. Slide this over. Got to be careful because this is we want to stop it right here. So we'll move it. So it's right there. Got to zoom in a little bit. Roll over. And ding. So that's what it looks like.
So how can that be possible?
Maybe slide it back a little bit just to give it a little bit of a pause. Right. Over here. And now, since my channels are somewhat overlapping, if you see here with the intro, because I can add audio channels and things right here if I wanted to. So these are the audio channels on the bottom. And you got this little line here. These are the video channels that are above. So I can add, I have three video channels right now. And I currently have 4 audio channels. I can add more if I want to. You can go pretty much unlimited. So I'm going to drag this here, but I don't want to overlap the intro audio right here where it just stops. And then I'm going to put in a little bit of a transition, a fade in, just so it goes smooth. 500 bits. What the hell are you doing, man? This is not that kind of stream. This is just hanging out, not give me money stream. Thank you so much. No, see, and then he stuttered. You didn't stutter with your bits. You stuttered when you typed that, though. Just kidding, buddy. Thank you so much. Should not be doing that. So we're gonna go right here, and then when we play it back. So what I do is I'll drag this under here, and we'll put a simple fade in there. My default fade right now, I've never adjusted the default settings, so it's just gonna come in at 1 second. So I like to do the duration here of about 2 seconds just to make it more smooth. And then this is my microphone audio. This channel here, they're all connected right now. I can unconnect them if I need to manipulate them around. Thank you so much, guys. So I can, control how transparent the video is. So if I go here, right, I could turn off the actual video. I can make things transparent if I want them to go on top, like the logo. The logo is currently, I believe it's full, but I can make it more transparent if I want. I can also control the scale of it. So I was at 20 there before. And then I can move it around if I want. And, all these different channels, if you will, or layers, you can move them around just like in Photoshop. So at this point, this is what we have so far from the very beginning.
I guess 1033, repeating 1033 at mission in the 15 reference 1 at gunpoint. Interest on 1111. You can call me stupid.
Okay, and then I stopped it right there because I'm thinking I can do something a little more fun. I can maybe do this. I can grab all these pieces now and slide them all over at the same time. Maybe if you guys might be able to see what I'm trying to do here. But I'm not going to be able to at that zoom level, so I'm going to have to zoom in even more. And then maybe about there. So what I'm looking at here is this music channel down here at the very bottom. Now I need to unselect these so that I can just drag these alone. And now, if I zoom out, we should have music a little bit sooner.
I guess 1033, repeating 1033 at mission in the 15 reference 1 at gunpoint. Interest on 1111. You can call me stupid. You can call me sheep. You can say I'm lazy.
We could obviously cut all this stuff out in the beginning if we wanted to just go straight in where we pull in, but I haven't really got that far yet.
How could I have done it if the guns were still being fired when I was at your when I was in cuffs with you? So how can that be possible?
That's how the intros happens. So if we were to, like, we could simply do it where, well, so if I didn't want to do the ding ding, but I think that's funny. Whoever does ding ding when they walk in there. Yeah, there's quite a bit of work that goes in these things, but you truly have to enjoy making the videos. Like, I enjoy creating the content. Absolutely. Right? This is Premiere Pro 2015 is the one that I'm using, because the newer ones we're having a bunch of different issues. So this is version 9.0. So, you know, these are one of the last few versions that you can actually buy outright, which they're expensive. I'm not going to tell you if I paid full price for it or not. Let's just say that I have them. Now, currently, in order to only use Premiere Pro and the Adobe products, you have to pay a monthly fee, and then when you are done, when you don't want to pay them anymore, then you no longer have access to anything. So it's kind of a pain in the ass. So I'd rather just personally own the software or have it in my possession. That way I can uninstall it and reinstall it anytime I want. Yeah, it's a little bit older software, but it does everything that I want it to for the most part. And there's other ways to get around some of the misgivings that this one has. And, you know, so streaming, yeah, I wasn't actually streaming. Barry was streaming during these, as you guys know, because you played with me. But he's streaming and it's live. However, here's the thing with Twitch is that unless you go back through and highlight your stuff, it's gone off Twitch at some point. So you have no reference in a year from now of what any of this stuff happened, unless you also spend the time going through and kind of highlighting that information. And so if you download it, you have it. And then you have to re-upload it to Twitch, which you can export it to YouTube, no problem, from Twitch. That's what I do a lot of times. Like this one will probably end up in you'll probably end up on YouTube, but in the instructional videos, because that's kind of what we're doing here. Even though we're just hanging out, we're also showing you how I create content, and there's many ways of doing it. So I am by far not even close to being professional in any means. So if you guys think I'm professional, you're wrong. Complete amateur here. I'm sure I make a lot of mistakes, but this is the way I've self-taught, so I do everything the way I learned. Or YouTube. My first video, by the way, was in 2007. I made it when I was in Legion at War, and we were playing Battlefield 2. I was accepted in Legion at War as a preferred player at the time, and I saw some shit that was going down, and I kind of had recorded it and put it together as a video saying, hey, don't do that shit here. And that was on a video that was in a channel that was associated with my real name, which you guys know it, but that's at the time we were hosting servers and somebody got banned and they got all pissy and stuff. And so then they found me through my website registration and YouTube and all that. And then they had started sending pizzas to my house late at night and all this stuff. So at that point, I decided to separate KungfuBeer from who I am and make them two separate entities. It wasn't until OCRP where they came back together again, because of the way that it is in OCRP. You have to have your real name and stuff. But other than that, like now, shouldn't be a problem because now I don't run servers anymore. I don't have any servers anymore because kind of done with that part. I'd rather just play on them and make content. So, but yeah, so all those videos that I had a long time ago, they got deleted. It wasn't free. It was not free. They showed up and expected me to pay for it. I'm like, I don't think so. I didn't order it. And they were calling me at Skype. Again, I had a young child, so they were calling me at Skype at, 10, 11 o'clock at night when they had to get up and go to school. 2 young kids, actually, and scaring the wife and all that stuff. So, yeah, it really, it wasn't a joke. They were being dicks. And so what I did after a couple, days of that, I figured out who they were. I went ahead and scoured the internet, and I sent them pictures of their license plates that they had put on the internet they had a motorcycle at a gas station getting gas. I found out where they worked, and I told them, if you want to continue this nonsense, I will tell your fucking employer, all this shit that you're doing. We'll see if they think it's funny. Here's who you are. Here's where you live. I have cops that are friends of mine, close friends of mine in the state of Texas that you live in the Dallas-Fort Worth area where you are living, and we can have them come to your house and tell you to knock this shit off if that's how you want to go. I never heard from that person ever again. So fuck them. I'm an internet guy. I know what I'm doing on the internet sometimes. Except when it comes to like Facebook and everything, because shit's all real.
That's such a Hal move to do too, though.
Well, like you fucked with the wrong guy. I appreciate it. Thanks so much for coming here and hanging out with us. I don't know how. I guess you're TC Roberts. That's how you'd say your name. TC as in the crew. That was the name of our little collective before we went to Legion at War. We were the crew. All right. So we are, well, that's me. Who am I waving at? Oh, this is, okay, so this is what happened here. So I think that's relevant. We probably want that in there.
Hear a gun being fired and Till was standing there and I was in cuffs. Yeah, it's funny that you guys have got me in cuffs and you're blaming me for shooting a gun and then we get shot at while we're there. Do the maths, mate.
Now see, as the video is going, by the way, you can kind of see over here on the right the levels that they're talking. So see, it starts getting in the red. So now I have to lower the volume level just a little bit, maybe 2 dB or so, maybe 3 dB. We don't want to go too low. And I always lower mine a little bit too.
My issue is, Barry, I'm just trying to understand why you keep ending up in these positions. I get that people are out there and they're interested in killing you, but
somebody tries to run us over, and that's me talking to him in Discord right there. Tires are shot out at the same time. There's other gunshots. And we're like,
if you didn't argue on Facebook, did you really argue?
Oh, wait. I mean, I'm not arguing. I'm telling everybody the facts, and they're trying to argue with me. I'm like, no, you don't know what you're saying. These are facts. Yeah. Facts on Facebook. Okay, it's got to be real for sure.
Trying to run them over and now it's not
real.
Yeah, it doesn't happen on Facebook. I mean, like, forget about it. Okay, so they're still chatting and stuff, and then it gets really bright in there. So let's see. Somebody came out. Somebody goes in. Okay, so I went too far there. I think we got shot at. So let's see. Where are we at? So I'm at about 45 minutes here. The video goes to 1 hour and 45, and this is already cut, by the way. I've already taken the first part out of it, and that's its own video. So because this is about a 3-hour stream, we can have 3 chunks out of this, it looks like. So I'm going to take, I think Barry went to jail.
Can you? Yep, can you go take my bike and get rid of it? Mm-hmm. And then I'll grant them.
There's the famous soup bowl in the background that you guys heard. Why is that here? I don't think Barn Swallow's in this one.
Haul ass, and I'll grant them permission.
This was the one. Just give me a minute. Oh, see how somebody tried to get my attention there, and I don't know what they wanted. So what Barry asks here is, hey, can you go to my house and the weapon that I used to shoot that RV, I mean, not the RV, the weapon that I used to shoot that pickup truck that Steven was driving, it's in my motorcycle. I went to my house, I dropped the motorcycle off that had the weapon in it, and then I came back in the RV. That's from the last video. So this is a continuation of it. And he said, so in my opinion, and I thought about this afterwards, that how would I be talking? This might have something to do with Zebra. I'm not sure yet. It could be a continuation because I mean, I just hit record every day and then we just keep moving forward. But so I was thinking about this afterward and said, okay, so the whole Zebra story is on my YouTube channel, by the way. So you can go and catch up to what I've put out yet so far. Most of the Zebra stuff is there on YouTube, and up to the point where he downed me, nearly killed me. And that's pretty much where the Zebra Johnson story had ended because we haven't seen him since. It's not over yet, but we haven't seen him in a while. So my thought was, okay, so I'm talking to Barry, who's in police custody down in the stairs below. The game is allowing me to hear his conversation. So he mentions to me, basically in Bluetooth is how we RP it out. When we're on Discord, we're in Bluetooth. So we're talking basically through our earpieces to each other. And it was probably a mistake RP-wise to be able to communicate with him. I went in there so I can hear what's going on, and obviously I captured the video of it. But from an RP standpoint, now, you know, hindsight says, well, how would I be talking to him if he was in police custody? They probably took his phone. They probably took the earpiece out of his ear. So maybe this wasn't the best thing to do. It's a done deal now. Obviously, it happened over a week ago. But I went and they never came to his house to search his motorcycle. Anyways, I don't think so. I know they want to get a warrant, but these are the things that we all will continue to learn from ourselves and say, well, next time I won't do it that way, because that's kind of shitty from the standpoint of how would we be able to do that if it was a real life thing. So, and the strive to deliver the content of what the story of what's going on so that everybody else knows what's going on, these things kind of happen sometimes. So I mentioned about the Discord chat earlier. Well, first of all, I started separating it before, which is a lot of the Zebra Johnson story. I had to go back and grab his audio from his stream because my microphone, it changed devices, and so I didn't record my audio for like 4 or 5 episodes. But at the same time, I'm an honest person, so if I do these kind of things where we're communicating via the Discord in this situation, I'm going to show it because I got nothing to hide behind it. So, James, welcome. Barry Bogan should be going live here in about an hour or so. So, we're just kind of filling in the gap here till he comes in. Might be an hour, might be an hour and a half, not sure. He'll come in here. We're in his Discord right now, so he'll show up when he's here. And then this stream here today was not planned at all. It just kind of happened. Thanks to the lovely Barry Bogan moderators that are forcing me to do stuff that I don't want to do. I'm just sitting here minding my own business and like, you need to do this. I'm like, okay, I mean, yeah, sure. Whatever you guys want.
Hashtag blame Arlo.
Hashtag blame Arlo. So yeah, so in this video cut, now we have to make an editing. Yeah, I'm gonna be with them. Yep, and then we got many of the other STFU members in here as well right now that are gonna be live as well today. I've been doing RP for literally since March of 2019. OCRP is my first RP community. I did similar things just to do video content in the past with Legion at War / Yummy Brains, my friends that I've been with forever. But I've never been in a GTA RP community till OCRP. So let's see, 45. So I have to make an editing choice here. Yeah, just over a year. I'm an RP instructor for OCRP as well. So all the new people that are accepted into OCRP, they have to go through instruction to, oh my gosh. Don't start this now. 500 biddies to Deviant. Thanks so much, man. What are the other guys' Twitch? You would have to, so that's one thing that I don't do. I'm not going to stream at the same time as Barry Bogan does. And at the same time, if you're watching a streamer and you don't know how to find out on the internet what their stream is, you should probably not be asking the person who's doing the stream. You're there to see them, or you just simply go somewhere else. You know what I mean? So it's kind of rude when people go on one person's stream and say, hey, my stream is this, or, hey, why don't you, unless the person is saying, hey, why don't you go check out Barry Bogan's stream, right? Yeah, those the moderators for Bogan's mods, the Bogan's Twitch mods, just so happen that I have the same mods. I trust them, and they take care of the streamer. So, and this is not something I do often. It seems to be happening. I've had 2 streams in a row now. I've streamed. This is my 3rd stream of the year, I think, other than a test one. And I like doing the YouTube content because I can control what comes out of my mouth a little bit better. No, you don't have to be sorry. I'm just explaining. There's nothing you can't ask. We'll tell you if it's the wrong thing to ask, but I mean, you can still ask it. It's the part of learning, right? We're all here to learn. We're all here to get better. We're all here to have fun together. So it's just when the same questions come up time and time again, it gets irritating, like, bugs and polecat and all that stuff. So I've never been in DOJ. So if anybody asks me if I know polecat, I mean, the answer is no. So it doesn't really matter. I mean, do I know Jeff? Not really. I've streamed with him. I've been on his stream quite a few times. I've run into him in OCRP quite a few times. There's YouTube videos that show him in us together, but I don't know who he is. I've played with him a few times and it's been fun, but I'm here for the content. I'm not necessarily here for the people. Except Barry. I love Barry. Barry's really good. And all my STFU guys. All my STFU guys, I love them. All right. So I come home to Annie Barrel's house in this video. I met Barry through OCRP. I actually, Swizzy came over from DOJ, as did Barry Bogan from DOJ. They came over to OCRP. Being an RP instructor, people need to be trained on what the rules are in OCRP before they come on a server. So we have these RP instructors like myself. There's a few of us, but I'm one of the more active ones, consistently active, I would say. So I end up just, let's do training today. Let's make sure we can get some more people on the server. So I would train them. I trained Swizzy as one of the people. And, it was about 3.5, 4 hours of just basically doing this, tell them the rules, kind of the stuff to do. And then Swizzy I asked him if he wanted to go on a ride along with me as a cop because I was done training and I was going to go in and, I had been a cop for a while, I guess. But as a civilian, it's kind of hard if you don't know who to do things with. as a cop, you're going to run into civilians, so there's always interaction that you have as a cop. So I loved it when I became a cop. And then I didn't do much civ. I tried doing civ stuff before that, but again, it gets a little boring. And if you're just driving around getting pulled over by cops, it's, you can only do so much of that before you start wanting to bash your head in the table going, I need to do something else. So even if you're a tow operator, it doesn't really matter. It's like if you're just driving around in circles waiting to get pulled over or picking up cars as a generic civilian, it gets boring after a while. So after I trained Swizz, he said, I asked if he wanted to come in with me, and he's like, no, I'm waiting for my friend Barry Bogan to come in and come into the server. I was like, oh, okay. I mean, if you're waiting for somebody, I mean, does he have somebody who's going to train him? I'll train him. I don't know who he is. I don't care. I mean, even if I did, I wouldn't care. And he's like, well, he's getting training right now. And it was from Justin or Josh, I think Josh, who hasn't done very many Civ trainings. He pretty much plays Leo all the time. And he's been around since the beginning. He's a really good guy. And so he had messaged something in the Discord OCRP. It's like, it's been a minute since I've done training, what about this? What about that? So I went in there real quick and I introduced myself and I gave him the stuff that he was looking for. And then I heard about all these people who said, well, wait till you meet Barry Bogan because, you're just going to wish you hadn't. And I was like, I don't know who that is. I don't care. And I was on patrol one day. It was within a couple days. I don't remember exactly the time frame, but I had pulled over this guy, and it was actually he wasn't playing as Barry Bogan. He was playing as his MC, the old MC, lost president, Terry Jackson. And so I pulled him over. And I didn't even pull him over. I was a backup unit. So another unit had pulled him over. I pulled him up and was just backing him up because that's what I do. I always back up other units, especially at nighttime. Being from California, that's one of the things that's important. And it was Terry Jackson. I saw the motorcycle. I was like, oh, that's a nice motorcycle. I know I'm not a mechanic or anything. I mean, I fix my own cars and all that. And I've done that in the past many times. So I know a little bit about motorcycles, and I was asking stuff and, what kind of engine's on there and all that. And of course, he didn't know. And I was just commenting, oh, it's a nice motorcycle. The cop was running his information. So I was just chatting with him because that's what I like to do is RP, not necessarily give tickets. And so I was sitting there just chatting with him. And then he drove off, went about my business. And then a little bit later, I had pulled over Barry Bogan. I'm sorry. I pulled over Terry Jackson again, going a different direction in a different vehicle. And so I was like, hey man, the windows in his vehicle were tinted. So I had my gun out and other units pulled up or whatever, cause I couldn't see in the back window. I had him step out of the vehicle. I saw it was Terry Jackson again. So I was basically like, well, sir, just so you know, I had my weapon drawn. Because I couldn't see in your windows. Let's not worry about that right now. I've already stopped you today, and I basically did my whole spiel. Where I was just basically talking to him and telling him, like, I know you're in a hurry. He's all being honest and everything. So, just chill out a little bit, drive better, and that was that. And about 2 days later, I was in the city because it was a night where the suggested RP zone was in the city. So I was like, I got nothing better to do. I'll go down the city. I don't like being a cop in the city. I don't like all the traffic lights. I don't like all the AI down there. So I don't normally do much in the city, but we were having a good time with some of the other cops that were on. And Green Charger, I was going like towards Grove Street, I guess, but over, from where Pillbox Hill Hospital is, I was kind of in that area over by Legion Square. And I saw this Charger from far away, and it was just zipping in and out of traffic coming towards me. I was like, oh, shit, look at this guy. So I flipped around on him. He pulled over immediately. And I got out and I introduced myself. I think I had a ride along. I mean, not a ride along. I had a partner with me, a 1012, we call it. And so we got it. It was Coral. That's who my 1012 was. And we got out and we, introduced ourselves. And I told him, yeah, you're driving like an idiot and stuff. You got to slow down a little bit. And then got his driver's license. His driver's license was suspended. And I think I had met him one time before that because, like, I already knew who this character was. And so I was like, well, Mr. Bogan, I said, you put me in a rough spot here because you're driving around on a suspended driver's license. You're driving like an asshole, to be honest. And I'm now in a kind of a hard spot because you're on a suspended license. I can't just let you go because I have these other officers here. Everything's being recorded from my dash cam, from my body cam, all this stuff. So listen, I'm not gonna hit you up with a ticket or anything. You need to get this taken care of, but I'll have to tow your car. And he's like, oh, no problem, mate, and all this and that. I think I pulled him over in the county one time before that, a day or two before. Probably the same night I did Jackson. It was the same kind of thing. I just said, yeah, you need to slow down. And then, he probably did some Barry Bogan stuff. And then he had to change characters. Well, at this time, Swizzy was on, and I was done kind of being Leo, so I'm like, yeah, I'll switch over to Civ, and because Swizz is like, hey, what are you doing? I'm like, nothing, I'm just patrolling. He's like, you want to go Civ? I'm like, okay. So I put my unit away, I went 10-7, and then I switched over to civilian. Hilarious. And Swizzy tried to, he figured out where I was at. I was over kind of by Mirror Park, on the Rockford Hills Mirror Park area. And so he came over there. He picked me up. He was an Uber driver. Got a little bit of hiccups going here. Probably from all the talking. Don't ever do. So he picked me up in a he was an Uber driver and he picked me up. I forgot the character name that Swizzy was, but Barry was in the backseat. I hadn't met Barry in that character yet as hilarious. So I'm like, hey, what's up? And he's like, oh yeah, you requested a ride. I was on my way dropping this gentleman off and it was on the way. So I figured if you don't mind, I'll take both of you at the same time. And I was like, that's cool. Like, hey, what's your name? He's like, hey, Barry, mate. I'm like, oh, that's cool. So I, as I said, I'd already interfaced with him as Leo. So I knew the character. And then since he was in the back of the Uber car, we weren't driving. I'm like, hey, you want a beer? And he's like, yeah, mate. So we ended up having a beer or two, and Swizzy drove in a way, I guess, that caused him to get stopped by the police. I think we rolled about 8 feet before we got pulled over, by the way. And we had beers in our hands. So when the cops came up, we did the set smell, so we smelled like alcohol or whatever. And he's like, are you guys drinking? Like, yeah, but we're not driving. So we got pulled out of the car. We got talked to, blah, blah, blah. The cops let us go. We threw our beer bottles in the grass. They made us go get them. And I don't have any of this recorded, unfortunately. I got the part where I got arrested at the end, but I forgot to hit record, so I didn't get any of this recorded until the end part, which is a video I'm going to put up eventually. So everybody sit down, get your marshmallows out. Story continues. So as we commented on Deviants, post there. And so we went to leave, and then Swizzy didn't look in the mirror or whatever, and then we crashed into an AI that was trying to turn. I'm like, oh, here we go. And so we went, the cop was right there, and he's like, oh my God, this fucking guy, and we're like yelling at him and stuff so the cops can hear in the back. And then we turned left and went up the street, and then Swizzy ran out of gas. So when he ran out of gas, we're stuck there at the intersection, and so we got out. And we were standing there. He was calling for a tow truck or whatever, and so I had beers. So I'm like, well, let's have some beers. So we're standing on the side of the road with a vehicle that ran out of gas, waiting for a tow truck, drinking beers. Well, same cops came up. He said, didn't I already warn you about drinking and driving? I was like, well, I'm not driving. I'm standing. So how's that driving? I did hilarious and started arguing with him about the law. And the cop was like, after all this stuff, I was being real respectful. Barry's being lippy. The cop says, well, we're going to, I'm going to arrest you. And I'm like, for what? For drinking in public intoxication. I'm like, why don't you just cite and release me? That doesn't make sense. He's like, well, I'll do what I want. I'm like, that's the problem. Full on hilarious. So he goes, but I'm going to release Barry Bogan. I'm like, why are you going to release him? I wasn't trying to get him pinched or anything, but I'm like, he's the one being lippy and he's saying he's being cooperative. But I'm the one who's just questioning the law respectfully, but I'm the one being an asshole, so I'm getting arrested. I'm like, that doesn't make sense. So he ends up releasing Barry. Barry says in Discord, when he takes me out handcuffs, I'm going to break his jaw. And I said, cool. So he took him out of handcuffs. Barry breaks his jaw. The cops shoot him. Barry's dead. Well, you know what I mean. He's injured. However, hilarious still goes to jail for being publicly intoxicated, even though I blew a .002 on the PBT, which is not intoxicated for those of you that know math. .008 is intoxicated legally. So, that, in a nutshell, is how Hilarious and KungfuBeer became buds. There's a test at the end of this, guys.
That was an amazing story.
I don't know about amazing. That's just what happened. You already felt that there, Chaos? Listen, Mohawk, we keep track of these things. If you get 2 failures, you're going to get shot in the lips, all right?
Don't threaten me with a good time, damn it.
Yeah, no kidding. Yeah, I don't do good on tests either. So it looks like we're not going to get this video done today because we're sitting here having a good time. And I really am having a good time. I definitely enjoy hanging out, chatting. This is what we did, Arlo, for how many hours before we even went live with it? And I got 21 people hanging out with us. Amazing.
Yeah, we were talking for like 2 hours before anybody else came and joined us.
You think I'd be out of juice? Like I wouldn't have I wouldn't want to talk anymore, but I guess I got a few more hours going. Because here in a little bit, we're going to go live on OCRP, and I'm going to be talking some more. If it's full, it's full. We have server number 2 we can go to as well. And I have a feeling, let's say server 1 is full. Or, if it's getting full. All of us can't fit. I'll tell you Barnswell's story in a minute. Actually, there's a video about it too, I think. But let's say if server 1 is starting to get full and all of us can't fit in there, well, we can go to server 2, which would be dead for a little bit. But I think if 12 of us end up in server 2, well, the cops are going to go over there, and once people see how many people are in there, because if there's nobody in server 2, it's ours. We're fucking everything up. We're destroying. We're going to level everything we find. And what are they going to do? Yeah, and then some people are going to follow Barry's stream. Some people, are going to follow him because he's on server 2 over there. Just fine, as long as, hopefully they don't use that information. It happens, fortunately. Not a lot you can do about it. Yeah, I saw that. And so that's a fair point, though, is that in the launcher it tells you how many civilian slots there are. And, so if we look right now, there's 12 players in OCRP. That's the wrong one. I'm going to go launcher. So there's 12 people in OCRP. That's who's on. So you have a number of cops in there right now, and probably 1 or 2 civilians. Oh, 6 and 6. Look at that. So you got half and half right now. 6 civilians online, and there's 12 slots for Leo, so there's only 12 slots open. That means right now it's 50-50. That means there's 1 cop for every civilian in there. So it is what it is. Sometimes it'd be too full to get in there, and we just have to figure out another way. There's 2 servers though, so it may not be as we may not be able to be as rambunctious with other people in server number 2. But like I said, I think we're getting to be a large enough entity. I mean, did you guys see what I tagged in? I think I put it in here in Barry's Discord for you guys that are in there. I put it under the here. I'll play it for you. I can do that. It's weird. Twitch clip.
Yeah, you put it under Twitch clips.
Yeah. So if I put it right here,
Eugene.
let me go full screen here. So if I turn the volume down a little bit. So here's what we got. This is from last night.
Eugene.
They got a whole army of bikers.
That's 720. I've blown up the 4K,
anyway,
so it's gonna look like shit.
I
But
talked to.
It's gonna be a full-on war.
Well, first off, I gotta read you this
There's
because I forgot
9
to
of
do
them
it.
now.
Just because,
shit is awesome
I'll
looking.
I'll get in
Block
trouble
the
if I
road so
don't.
they can
So
all
I just
come
gotta
out
read you
that
this
way,
dumb
dude.
card. If you had the right.
And there's one more coming up. That's Zach, who will be coming up in the rear
You're
there.
not under arrest. I mean, just.
He's right back there.
I just love their reaction. There's a whole army coming at us.
Yeah, there's a whole army of them. It'll be a war. Well, they're talking to Jason, who was dispatching at the time. So he was in their Discord chatting about it. And so I clipped this just a little bit ago because I wanted that's impressive. It's very impressive. We're driving by and just whoom, 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 whoom. And when we went into the city, I could only imagine what that shit looked like. By the way, here's what I was playing when the stream started. Play that funky music by Leo. It's probably copyrighted, but I love this guy. This guy does all kinds of stuff. He does covers. So he does like an Adele Hello version, but it's all like heavy metal. I try to find, I try to find different things for, I try to find the different covers and stuff that everybody knows to play in the background when I'm launching it. So, I mean, the stuff I have right now is from Neon Vines. Most of what you heard, very, very talented person. She uses the keyboards and all that stuff, and amazing work. So where's let's go look there real quick. You guys got me all sidetracked now.
Hi everybody, this is Leo from Frog Leap Studios.
I'm Leo from Frog Leap Studios. I'm going to do a cover. What?
I said, and this is how you never get any more videos done.
Oh no, I'll get them done. I have tomorrow's done.
He just can't be hanging out with us.
Right. No, I have tomorrow's already done. I just have to upload it. I'll do it tonight after the stream because I don't want to do it when I'm trying to play because it'll kill, to make the internet harder to go. And I have pretty decent internet here. But I was gonna capture this one and play that in the background. One of these streams.
That Adele cover that
Yep.
Leo does is amazing.
Yeah, it's great.
I love Our Last Night. They do a lot of covers of popular songs and for metal, and it's freaking amazing. Like they did Skyfall, 007. It's freaking amazing.
What I had the volume up a little too loud. On what?
So Our Last Night does a cover of Skyfall from 007.
Right.
Yeah, and they do it for their metal, the metal version, and it's freaking dope.
Yeah, there's so many covers out there done so well, and they just don't get recognition. I mean, obviously, I'm not going to be the guy that can give everybody recognition because I'm a nobody. But this is just the stuff I like to listen to. I like a funky, bluesy, kind of heavy kind of stuff. It's hard to find that genre and I actually play bass and guitar as well, but I'm not that good.
You would like the band they're called Sarsaparilla, and they're from Portland, Oregon. So it's a band called Sarsaparilla.
Sarsaparilla. Are they on YouTube?
Yeah, they have YouTube.
Sarsaparilla. How do you spell it? Sass.
I think it's SASSPARILLA.
SASSPA. Yeah, I kind of play the drums too, kind of.
Yeah, like
all the way. Those guys.
They have a couple different ones. Let me see. I'll see if I can find and send it to.
Like a folky. Yeah. This is kind of folk.
Yeah, so they do like folksy, bluesy.
I love
the guy who plays the harmonica only has like 4 fingers total.
Oh wow.
Yeah, and he plays like 20 different harmonicas of different sizes and shit. But I've met them and hung out with them after a concert, and they're freaking amazing.
Right. Yeah, so here's Neon Vines. I mean, she does all this shit. Of course, you got to watch ads.
The first time I was in front of an orchestra, hearing my own music, it's like, I want to do this. In the course of this masterclass, I'm going to tell you from my perspective how I do.
That's all she uses, is just like she samples things, you know, that she's doing, but she'll I mean, she plays it all live. It's just amazing. Multitasking at a super high level. So that's where some of the songs that I've played background are there. Enough of it. Yeah, I like off things like that. I like a lot of live performances. Because, I mean, that's where you really hear the talent, the live stuff.
Yeah, Tosh Sultana, she makes all her own music and sounds, so she's using like different foot pedals. Even on like live concerts, she's always making everything's live, so she does everything just spot on. Right.
That's and that's just amazing. So let me let's see. So what I'll probably do, he tells me to go get, I'll go to the house, right? That's about 45 minutes. So back to the video editing portion of this instructional video stream.
So speaking of the video editing part, about how many videos are you getting out of a?
So the one that I'm showing you here right now live, I'm gonna get 3 out of this one. So this is one day. It was roughly just under around 3 hours or so. So when I'm at home, I share this space that I'm in right now. I'm in the garage, actually. I share this space with my wife. So I have it basically all day. I just do, all this stuff, hang out, streaming. And then at about 7:30-ish California time, that's when she's getting ready to come out here and relax. She smokes, so she comes out here. I don't. But she'll come out here, and we don't smoke in the house, so she comes out here or goes out in the garage or outside. But it's raining outside, so she would come in here, turns on the TV that I set up for her out here, and she'll watch stuff while she's, playing her type of video games, which is like card games and stuff, slot machines. So that's why I usually jump off about around between 7:30 and 8 p.m. California time when I'm here. I turn it over and she has it, and then I just go in and watch people's streams or, YouTube, whatever, TV programs. I watched Westworld last night, which I don't know if you guys saw that Westworld last night. I'm not going to give anything away, but there's a scene, and it has a song in it. And it was done amazingly. The same guy that did Game of Thrones did that song. So if you guys want, I'll tell you who it is. I'll tell you what the song is. I won't tell you anything about Westworld. I'll tell you the song. You guys already watched it. If you want to guess what it is, tell me no, and then I won't. But it's an amazing rendition of a song that I've heard a million times.
Oh, I'm a season and something behind in Westworld, so I need to catch up.
Yeah, but I mean the song name isn't going to ruin it for you.
Give me the song.
Okay, stand by one. I'm going to play it for you though. I'll play it and you'll see what it is, but it's just an amazing version. So here I'm going to cut this, and before I play that song, or actually I could play it at the same time, huh? Move that out of the way. Stormy is yelling. Oh, you think she's coming in too hot, you say? I didn't think so. I think she was excited.
It was on a delay on my laptop, and then I just hear her screaming in the kitchen.
That's fine. I think she was just excited. She wants to hear this music. She loves music, so.
I'm all about the new music. You're just giving me crap because I was so quiet for so long.
Yeah. Yep.
I had to eat dinner.
I mean, that's how we roll around here, though.
This is how I found it, by the way. So here you go. Enjoy. Was that awesome or what? When that song was,
Love it.
when that song was playing with the visuals that were going on in it, it was just amazing. I was listening to it in headphones anyways, because at night that's what I do. It was flipping amazing. And these are the things that I do when I'm sitting here trying to render out the, come up with ideas for the videos themselves. I'll kind of remember. It's so hard though. I mean, these people are so good at what they do. I'm going to, and it might be tonight, I'm going to have the STFU guys that are on. I may end up waiting a few days till everybody can get on. I'm going to have everybody doing a dance move, for a little bit. So I can record it. And then I'm going to make like a music video.
Yes, please.
And you know what the song's going to be, right?
I mean, I don't know.
What is it? What is
really anything?
One of the Bogan songs. Saliva. Click, click, boom. Bad to the bone.
Playing right now.
That's fantastic.
We'll all be dancing, but I'm gonna do cutscenes of stuff. And they'll just like going back and dancing and stuff, and then cutscenes, and then STFU all over the place, like in and out, like STFU. Damn right.
Turn your back on the wolf pack. Don't turn your back on the wolf pack.
Wolf pack. Yeah. Yeah, I'll be that could be fun.
That'd be cool if you could edit it so it's don't mess with the STFU.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm not in that type of audio editing. I mean, I have Audition, and I've done a bunch of that way back in the days, when we had AOL and stuff, and you'd go in there, it's like, you've got mail. I changed the word mail, so I cut it and then put my own in. And I was just, so it said, I'd go in there like, you've got porn. And that's exactly what it sounded like. So it was all AOL style. It's like, you've got porn. So, yeah, that's, as a matter of fact, I don't want to do it on stream. I can tell people what I use later. I just don't want to, the way in which I'm able to get content. If somebody happened to see the stream one day and go, oh, that's how they do it, I don't want to do that. But I'm open to telling people like how to. There's obviously you can get YouTube downloader and things like that to get this stuff. And grab that, change it to an MP3, but I don't want to ruin the sorts that I have because it's really, really. Yeah. Don't turn your back on the wolf pack.
That's gonna be awesome though.
Yeah. So like a one-off video like that where it's not really the live content driven, if it's like a production, that's going to take a while because that's going to be a lot of editing. I mean, I've done videos where like all this stuff right here is just chopped real tiny, just little bits. Because I mean, remember the timeline we're looking at minutes here. So this whole video right here is 44 minutes, 59 seconds, and 9/10 of a second long. Well, the whole video actually, 45 minutes, 2 seconds. What about CHP? What happened?
It's a joke. When he says that, when Deviant says, I love you, Arlo, then he's in distress, and so we need to call 911.
Oh. All right, so I saved this here. rendering out. I probably end up having to cancel this at some point because if I go live, I don't want to be trying to render out this. I guess I could. I mean, it's 29 minutes. If it happens. Get stuff. Start working on an outro. I probably got to get some food and stuff before we go live in OCRP. So, guess we can ready to end this stream. And guys, thanks for hanging out with me. Arlo, Deviant, Stormy, Zebrana. Thank you so much for hanging out. Everybody in the chat, definitely appreciate you guys being here. This was just supposed to be here's how boring it is to make videos and stuff. And this is the work that it takes. I mean, I'm not in a big hurry. I guess I can go run and see what's I think I'm just gonna have soup. My wife made soup, as I said the other day. So there's that. The here. I noticed you like that Time After Time song that I did yesterday. I really like that as well.
That was a good one.
I'm not a big fan of the 80s, the early 80s music. I grew up with it, and I flipping hated it back then. You know that Tears for Fears and all that whiny, my mom doesn't like me. I don't really like that.
So no Depeche Mode for you.
Yeah.
Oh, can you do that again?
Shout, shout, let it all out. Big old sniffles.
That's my boss's music because he's a couple of years older than me. But yeah, I lived through that.
Yeah. I mean, I'd much rather listen to what Stacy Q and all that other Run DMC, I guess. Oh yeah.
Late 80s metal's about me, man.
April 11th. California's trying to screw me over here. Got a
what else is new?
Well, no. So I'm a one of the few. Fun. 1 second, guys. I just don't want this going on the internet.
I gave up dealing with that up here. I tried to deal with it in Placer County and then Sacramento County. It just was ridiculous. You know, I was just like, fuck it. I'll just do it. You know, and if somebody breaks my house, I'll just shoot.
Yeah, they don't make it easy.
All right. Sorry, chat. There's just some stuff that I don't need on the internet. I mean, the NSA is going to have it, you know, that's for sure. But everyone's calling me anyways. Like, hey, you got to do this. I'm like, okay. Metallica. You know, I kind of got pissed off with Metallica, believe it or not, during the when that Napster shit happened. Listen, I know they want to make money. I know how artists are, but I mean, look at nowadays. When they did the thing with Napster, they just said, okay, fine, we'll just do it so that everybody can go make their own music now on the internet. And we don't need you big record label companies anymore. So they kind of ruined a good thing. Because, I mean, music sales were at its highest ever during the Napster days because people were freely sharing the music around. And you'd hear something, you're like, oh, that sounds really good. I want to go buy the album. Now, not everybody did that, obviously. But the most people had done that. You guys need to stop gifting stuff there. That's Lemon. So you guys trying to give me money and stuff. I'm gonna have to go buy stuff to stream more often. You guys keep doing that shit. Wink, wink.
You're welcome.
Yeah.
Is Lemon making it rain? What is Lemon doing?
Making it rain. I mean, this. I'm gonna have to turn this into a job. You guys make it affordable to do this instead of going to work. But yeah, MP3 players actually weren't too bad. We would make CDs and we would make our own mixes on there. Now listen,
burning onto a CD. Yeah.
I had records, I had 8 tracks, and I had cassette tapes. And cassette tapes. You know what's funny? So, a history lesson for those of you. Yeah, I love everyone. The people who may not have been around during this time frame, but when they came out with this thing called a Betamax, which was like it's prior to VHS, which was a videotape that you'd go to Blockbuster and rent. Most of you guys here are older, so you know that. However, when they came out with Betamax, the movie companies and everything attacked them. I think it was Sony that came out with it. It said, "Oh my God, you're going to pirate our movies and stuff." They're like, "No, no, no, it's not what it's about. It's about people owning their own stuff." So I actually had fought for and won the ability to make those so that people could take their own. Well, you didn't need a machine to rewind your VHS. It just made it put less wear and tear on it. And plus, Blockbuster started charging you if you didn't do that. But so they won the case that says you're allowed to make copies of your own videos that you own. And then, like Napster days and all that stuff afterwards, then the same companies that won that lawsuit that said you should be able to do this because we're selling your product are now saying, well, now you can't do this anymore because now we own that product and we don't want you to do it. It's like, seriously? Dirtbags.
Sounds like Deviant trying to back out of everything.
Oh, I'm sure. Yeah. Yep. Yeah, Betamax was way ahead of its time. The cheaper version was the VHS tapes that came afterwards. My grandparents had a Betamax and it had like a remote control, had a wire on it. When I was a child, I was the remote control, by the way. I'd get yelled at from my back room to come change the TV, to turn the knob in the 70s and 80s. Yep.
To one of the 4 channels that were there?
We had, so in LA area, we had 2, 4, 5, 7, 9, 11, and 13. So that's what, 8? And then, of course, you had the UHF channels. Sesame Street came on 28. And then we had like 24 and 28. But yeah, that's what it was. Hey, come out and change the channel. They'd call me from the back room, or my brother. My dad would yell both our names. Whoever got there first, like, hey, can you change the channel? And he's like 5 feet away from it. That's hilarious.
Having to move the antenna around to get the perfect signal.
Actually, no. So that happened on like my TV in my room. I had a smaller one, but the bigger TVs, they had like digital tuners in them, so they weren't quite the same thing as the smaller, cheaper TVs that had the circular antenna for the UHF and had the big rabbit ears that you have to move and put tinfoil on them and all that. All right, let's see. Barry is not even on Discord yet. Maybe he's rebooting. I'm not sure.
I mean, he was up late.
Yeah, he was. We were here talking to him and Lucius and you and me.
Yep.
And me earlier.
Yeah,
Me with Brunna.
Yeah, I think I came out here. I connected. I went in and got some coffee, and I came back. Some of you guys were gone. Whoa, Purple. What do you mean your dad had a long pole that he used to change the TV channel with? What does that mean? I mean, I don't know about long poles and stuff. Yeah. As I've said before, I'm a Submariner. I can't get offended by anything. And a Pink Floyd, by the way, that kind of goes with the long pole. There's an old saying that's what a Pink Floyd was.
What did I just join into?
Hi, what's going on? How are you doing?
Yeah, not too bad yourself.
Turkey 171 is now in the chat with us, everybody. We're trying to keep the pot warm until Barry comes in and gets everything going here.
Yeah, Purple decided to have a poll talk.
Yep. Yeah, we're getting some work done, and people are hanging out while we did some video creation. Probably one of the longest ever how-to simple videos. Because we kept getting distracted, like, oh, hey, you want to see this? Hey, you want to see that? Hey, you want to see this?
So disclaimer, Kirky, people are listening to you, but
Yep. You were live with 14 other viewers. Most of them are us.
Yeah, that's alright. Don't bother me.
What'd you say about MMA?
I went, oh, it's alright. It doesn't bother me.
Man, your accent is thick, my friend. I'm gonna say what everybody else is thinking.
My accent isn't that thick.
I mean,
at least I don't think it.
You're from the UK, aren't you?
That's correct.
See, do you guys realize how proud Barry would be to hear me say that? Because he says that like Americans always think that UK and Australians sound the same. Of course, he says New Zealanders, the Kiwis and the Australians sound different, but okay. But I can definitely tell the difference between UK and Australian.
Yeah, and then in the UK, y'all have different like accents over there, like depending on where you're from.
Well, we do in the US too.
I wouldn't say we sound the same as the Australians. We don't have the same twang as they do, shall we say?
Yeah, yours is.
No, you all sound different.
Y'all sound different, you know.
I'll tell you who's really hard to understand. Gaz. Gaz is one of the hardest guys to understand over voice talking.
Oh yeah, Gaz he's got a very strong Scouse accent. Is from Liverpool.
Liverpool. Yeah, my heritage is from Derbyshire.
Derbyshire, yeah,
Derby.
down south.
That's right.
Well, it's up north a bit from me.
Yeah. My family migrated to the U.S. in like 1604 or something like that from Derbyshire.
I think the hardest accents to understand in the UK will be people from Newcastle, the Cockneys, and people from Liverpool. And people from Scotland as well. They can be a bit hard to understand.
Yeah, sometimes some of your Scots really get in there and deep. Oh, Irish and Native American, Indian. My dad, so growing up, we always understood that my family was American Indian, Cherokee Indian, as very factual. And then my dad goes and on my dad's side, we always were heard or were told that he was American Indian, Cherokee, and then of course European. And then on my mom's side, we're Swedish Viking, so we're Viking, which is, that means all Europeans are Vikings as well. So that's a joke. Thank you so much for following there, Kirky. Glad to have you here in the chat as well, or in chat and in Discord. But my dad goes and gets one of those 23andMe tests or whatever. He actually got two of them, got each one. And the results come back and he's like, yeah, I'm not American Indian. I'm like, what do you mean? And he's like, yeah, they told me in this test that I'm like more British than people who actually live in London or live in, the UK.
What?
Yeah. And so I was like, what? I said, well, listen, you can't change your heritage on me. We grew up, you've been Indian. So now you're just going to be Indian, American Indian. I'm not going to change. who you are. Purple is asking Kirky what part of the UK you're from if you don't see him in the chat.
I am from part what's called North Lincolnshire, so it's kind of in the middle between Scotland and London, so we're bang on centre.
So,
did you catch all that, Purple? Because I didn't.
Did some stuff in a foreign accent that I caught some of. He said,
I heard Scotland,
he's basically
and that's what I am.
bang on in the center.
That's what I heard. Bang on in the center.
Basically, I'm bang on in the middle of the UK. So I'm from an area called North Lincolnshire.
North Lincolnshire.
North Lincolnshire.
Yep. He's from over there. Purple says he's from the UK as well. Well, as am I. As I said, I'm from Derbyshire, but from like the 1600s. Though my family migrated here to the U.S. Back when the U.S. was still under British control.
Ancient Scotland.
I thought all Scotland was ancient. Is there a new part that I didn't know about?
Yeah. It's right around the corner from your house.
Oh. Yeah,
it hasn't made it on Google Maps yet.
It's still not there yet. The car hasn't driven around the block yet.
Yeah. They don't take my suggestions very well.
They still haven't edited out the license plates of the cars they filmed.
They got me running naked down the street.
Yeah, that might be a blurb, or just a little, depending. You know, if you have that long pole to change the TV channel, it could be a big blur. But if it's not, it could just be a little blur.
Get some road rash, you know.
Oh my goodness. That's funny. The category says it's Train Sim World, which I didn't change it. Well, that's probably why. Thought I changed it. I just didn't take it. Ever. So anyways, as you see, guys, at a time stamp of 2 hours and 14 minutes nearly, our video is 8 minutes and 52 seconds from being complete. And we haven't drank anything yet. This is without any alcohol or anything other than water. We had coffee earlier.
We are very proud of you. Well done.
I already started on the moonshine.
I get another medal for my chest.
Elegant, why am I surprised you started the moonshine already? How many you got left?
Okay, so I am, because I don't know when I'll get a chance to eat if I don't eat now. I'm gonna go ahead and end the stream. And listen, tomorrow's another day. We may be back live again tomorrow. So keep an eye out. If you guys want to come hang out again, you'll probably find something to talk about. And
there's always stuff to talk about.
There's always something to talk about. Like I said, we talked about so much beforehand. Then some of it was repeated. So yeah,
thanks for having us along.
Man, it's always good. Yeah, we have to do it more like this because it's it's just everybody just hanging out. I mean, that's the way we should do it. It's just we couldn't have 300 people in chat because it just wouldn't work. So I'm gonna get ready to go on OCRP, guys. So if you guys are hanging around, we'll probably go in there, get all set up. I don't know how many people on the server right now. I guess we can look. Thanks so much for hanging out with us, Purple, and all you guys who've been back and forth. I had so many names. It's going to get harder and harder as time goes on, I think. You guys keep bringing in more and more people to come here and hang out with us. It looks like we got 7 civilians online, so 20 or something we can add to that. So we will we'll go ahead and here, let's go out with a little bit of this. We'll end it on that note. So thanks again, guys, hanging out. We're gonna get it set up. We're gonna go with CRP in just a little bit. I'm gonna go get some food. And I love Charlie Mars. So we'll see you soon.
thanks for hanging, man.